Welcome back everybody to another Camping with Tony from Maybe Camping. We're going to be camping there at Mount Cook, the highest point in New Zealand, where they train to climb Everest. The weather's coming in. It's going to get bad, I think. We're going to get a lot of rain and then tonight maybe a lot of snow. So we've got to get there, set up the biggest, most expensive tent I've ever seen, and hunker down. Bring you back on the road. We've got another 40 kilometers, that's 31 minutes to go. Then I don't know what's going to happen, but we're making progress. We're driving along the side of Lake Pukaki right now, and it is beautiful. And that's Mount Cook in the distance. You can see the bluish hue of the glaciers. Not much snow, to be honest. There's hardly anything over there. That's going to look very different tomorrow. Okay, we're almost here. 3 kilometers to go, just 2 minutes. You can see it in the distance there. Got to find my spot and then park up. Right, got my spot. I've camped in this exact spot before a year ago. Exactly, in fact, to the 1 week ago, a year ago. I'm going to be looking at that range up there. Mount Cook is just over here. The glaciers are here. I'm going to be looking at that. By the morning, that should be completely covered in deep snow, and we hopefully will have a foot deep of snow. But I don't know. Anything can happen here. It could just rain all night and nothing happens at all. Right, so what we're going to do is get the tent out. I've got a beast of a tent. It's called the Hilleberg Atlas. It's really a shelter. No inner. You can buy an inner for it. And the price for this tent, with the vestibule that I've got, is over $3,500 US. Insane. But this thing should be able to take any storm. This is a warm-up. First time I've ever set this tent up, and we're going to test it just to make sure I'm used to it and everything, because the camp after this and the next video is going to be some brutal weather, and I also want to use this on the top of a mountain on Mars just to see how it goes there in a really brutal, you know, almost hurricane force winds. So let's get the tent out, let's get it set up, let's get camp set up, and let's get hunkered down ready, because it's going to chuck down, I think, in about a couple of hours, and I want to get it all set up before then. So first of all, we've got to get the tent out and get cranking. Here it is, the beast. Hilleberg Atlas. It even comes in a backpack. Look at this thing. So you can hike in with it. So this tent is designed for use in polar regions. It was used for scientists, asked for it to be, asked Hilleberg to make it for them, so that they had a shelter in the brutal Antarctic winds, and this is what Hilleberg came up with. So it's quite complex. As I say, I've never set it up before, because it's so huge. I didn't really have anywhere to set it up. This is the tent. These are all the poles. And this is the vestibule. Whether or not we'll use the vestibule on this trip, I don't know. So first thing I've got to do is get all of the poles laid out, ready to go, and then we're going to set it up in this spot here. Okay, so this is all the pegs, loads of pegs. Loads of poles. And there's a spare pole fixing kit in there as well. So they're color coded, white, red and blue. And then this small one is for the roof vent. These poles are the biggest poles I've ever seen for a tent. Massive. Some of them are 7 meters long. Oh, and in case you're wondering where my dog Bernie is, He's not allowed here because this is a national park. We're in New Zealand, Mount Cook National Park. No dogs allowed. Okay, this is the roof vent. Which is also massive. So yeah, this is the roof cover, I should say. It doesn't have an inner, this tent, or it doesn't come with one. You can buy one. But it's crazy expensive as well. I think the inner, all by itself, is 1,500 US. And I just didn't need an inner. Okay, so this is the waterproof vent that goes on top that allows it all to breathe inside. So that's going to be set up last. Now I'm lucky it's not windy, otherwise I would have to peg this out. So this has 2 doors, both identical. And like all Hilleberg tents, the guy lines are already attached. Okay, now I've got this inside out. So obviously this is a group shelter meant for like 8 people. Usually there'd be more than just one person trying to do this. So there's a door here and a door at the other end. So I can turn it around once I've got the poles in. Okay, so I think the first poles that go in are white. Yeah, okay, so I've got to put the white poles in first. So I think this is a lot easier if you peg it down first, but I don't know where I want it yet. This thing is just massive. Okay, that's one pole in. Now I've got to put the other white one in. So the color coded on the bottom of it. Here we go. So the other one goes in here. So that bird is a bellbird. Well, I'm glad I'm not having to do this in a storm. Okay. All right, great success. Starting to take shape. So I want the door to face, one door to face that way. Whew. Okay. Now I don't know what to do. I think it's the red poles that go in next. Or is it the blue? No, I think it's the blue. The big blue pole goes in next. Okay. Now I might have got this wrong and it might be the red that goes in next. Okay, so blue goes in last. Right, so let's put the red in before I clip the blue down. This is crazy. It doesn't feel like I should be bending this, but this is what it says to do. Okay, so once the red's in, you start clipping it in. And then you do the same for the other red pole. Okay, then the second red pole goes in. Actually, this isn't so bad. To say, the first time you set one of these sorts of tents up is always going to be the hardest. Okay, you wrap that round and stuck it in the other end. Okay, that just leaves this one big blue pole. So I need to push this through enough that I can get it into these chocks at the bottom here. Okay, and then the same on the other side. Let's tighten that up. I think if you're a bit on the short side, like, you know, Luke from Outdoor Gear Review, I think you're going to struggle putting this together. Also, no, actually, maybe not. Look, that was not bad, considering this thing is built for the Antarctic, for exploration, and is designed to take absolutely anything you put at it. I gotta say, pretty incredible. Right, I need to decide whether to put the vestibule on. If we're going to have heavy rain, well, let me show you inside first, because I haven't seen. I want to see what this is like, and apparently it's going to be quite amazing in there. Oh, actually, I almost forgot. I've got to put the roof cover on, the roof vent, because it could start raining. This is the only thing that's going to stop water getting in those top vents. The thing with the guys, I do like the fact they attach the guys, but I wish they would tie them up, roll them up, because Hilleberg guy lines are so massive and they get all tangled. They're a bit of a nightmare. There we go. Okay, so I think there's some clips. Yeah. Okay, so this goes over the top like this. So this must clip onto here. See, this is where Luke would struggle. Poor Luke. This must clip on here, and then same on the back end. You've got to kind of throw this over the top, and then link it up at the back. This bit's the trickiest bit. Okay, I think we got it. There doesn't seem to be anywhere to clip this onto. Right, I've got to read the instructions again. Right, I've got that completely wrong way around. The pole is meant to go that way. I should have just read the instructions. Right, let's try that again. I just assumed the Hilleberg logo would go on the front, but whatever. Yeah, that looks better already. Right, so you tighten these. And then when I tighten the other end, you should see this all seal up. All right, that's better. Okay, let's go in and have a look around. This thing is massive. Okay, so let's see what we're dealing with in here. Holy moly! Wow! This thing is great! This is like being in the Wawona. So I can just stand, so in the middle I can stand up no problem. There's a hook in here. I've got vents, snow vents and everything up the top. I've also got these cool ducts down here, just here, to let heating in. And I do have a heater that I want to duct into here. Unfortunately, it's sort of all on the wrong side. So I'll have to move the truck around a bit to do this. But it's awesome. I've got to peg it out to make it all taut. There are so many hooks in here for the inner, if you wanted one. But to be honest, you'd only need the inner if you're somewhere where there's going to be insects, flies, mosquitoes, that sort of thing. So the vestibule comes right out to here. So I think I might do it. I might put the vestibule up now as well. So I've got to read the instructions on the vestibule and I'll bring you back. Okay, not so difficult. You take the door off completely because you reuse this door for the vestibule. Then you zip the vestibule on in its place. So you find the zipper. Here we go. Attach the zip. Make sure I get this the right way around first, actually. But I don't think I have. Here we go. Okay, that's... so which end am I meant to attach this to? I guess this goes here. This is easier said than done. Now I did look at the instructions. I mean, obviously that's the outside of it. And it obviously goes like this, but I've got two zips. I've got one at each end. So which one am I meant to attach? Very confusing. Ah, here we go. Okay. Gosh, this is so confusing. It must go like that. There we go. So I think you fully attach this. Right, then you insert a pole. I'm glad I'm not doing this in a storm. But now that I have done it once, it'll be so much easier the next time. but in a storm, this is going to be tricky to set up. Very, very tricky. Okay, so this has got to go in a sleeve somewhere. There we go. Okay, and then you clip it on. I think this will be worth it just to have the vestibule space. So if it does snow heavily in the night, it won't be coming directly in the morning. And this should be able to take the weight. Okay, now this feels very tight. Am I all the way in? I think so. I don't want to damage it. That feels way too tight. Okay, just move these all along a little bit. Give myself a bit of fabric to play with. That was it. Okay. There we go. Now the only downside is you definitely do have to peg this out. It's not going to stay out by itself. There we go, and then you attach the zip to the door. Easy. Once you know how. First time you do this, it's always going to be tricky. All tents are tricky the first time you do it. Okay, that's it. And then I'll show you what it looks like. So when it's fully pulled out, it's going to look like that. A tunnel at the front. Pretty cool, huh? So you don't actually have to guy it out. You can just peg it all out. So I'm going to start pegging it all out. Now this is very hard ground. I don't know if their pegs are going to be any good for this ground, but we'll see. So we'll give their pegs a go. If they don't work, then I've got massive pegs in here. Because sometimes size does matter, she said. So it comes with 20 pegs. And they're good pegs. I think they're the same as Red Label tents. Pretty hefty pegs. Let's see how they do. Let's see if they can penetrate this ground. Otherwise, I'm going to have to use my pegs. We could be here a while. Nope. Well, they kind of do. Let's try this one. I don't think they really are designed for this. No, not really. Okay, I'm going to use my pegs. I thought these might not work. It's not their fault. This ground is solid. And it's just going to demolish these pegs completely. In fact, look at that. Almost ruined it already. Look. See that? It's already chewed it up. These are meant for soft ground, not rocks like this. Right, my pegs. See, that's a peg. Right, let's try these ones. Night and day difference. Now someone's going to say to me, why don't you use a metal hammer? Because there are a lot of people around and I don't want to make loads and loads of noise. It's going to take me ages, so I'll bring you back when I'm done. Right, all done. Look at this space. This tent is incredible. Now don't forget, it's technically not a tent, it's a shelter. But what a space, just amazing. So much room inside. And I'm in two minds whether to guy it out or not. It's pretty strong already. There's no wind at all. If the wind comes, then I will guy it all out. But as it stands, there's just no point at all. I do worry about the snow loading on here, but I think it will just fall off the side, if it does snow at all. I just don't know at the moment. And in fact, it's a bit mild at the moment. It's single digits, but we've got some sandflies, so I'm going to light up some my thermocells, and then let's get all the gear in here. But right now I've got to set some thermocells up in there, so we'll do that first. Okay. So we'll crank these up. All right, we'll crank these two thermocells, let them sit in there for a few minutes, and then we'll unload all the gear in there. Right, brought everything in. This is such a great space. I don't know where to start. I think I'll start with my bed. The thermocells have worked, the sandflies are gone. Now, you might hear a weird noise, like a ooh, ooh, ooh. There's a couple of ducks, paradise ducks just here. They might come around in front of the camera, I don't know. But they seem quite tame. They're used to people. Okay, so I've got the Oz Trail single easy fold jumbo bed. This thing is quite a beast as well. Very high off the ground. Okay, so it's slightly, I want my head that end. There we go. That works. Haha. Yeah, I think this will be good here. And then, did you hear that? That's the paradise ducks, that's the noise they make. That's not me making that noise. So I've got my bedding, I've got a 0° Fahrenheit quilt, and I've got my swivel chair, I've got a pad, the Neo Loft Thermarest pad. Right, let's get my chair set up. It's one of the most important things. I brought with me that swivel chair that I just got. I found another swivel chair that's on its way, just didn't get to me in time. It's a bit easier to set up than this. Not that I would say this is difficult, it's just a little bit of a faff. Swivel chairs, oh, just make everything so much easier, honestly. I'll have to go and show you these ducks so you believe me, so you don't think it's just me making that noise. Ah. Look at that, so easy. I've got a couple of tables, so I've got those set up now as well. But let me show you these ducks. Okay, where are they? Sounded like they were right behind the tent. Oh, there they are. That's one, that's the female, I think, and I think the male has a white head. They make so much noise. Oh, there's the male. Yeah. Trying to lead me away from the female. And I think they mate for life. They're very noisy. So this is where I am. Let me give you a look. It's getting a bit breezy. The rain is just starting now. There's a toilet block there, but it's all closed for winter. This camp is basically closed for winter now. Just sort of day people and the occasional camper van and people walking to go and see the glacier. So you can see there's a whole lot of people over there. They're going to be disappointed because the track is closed and you can't get to it now. So there'll be even less people here. So a couple of camper vans. There's a caravan that's just pulled up. Hey, what are you doing, Noisy? Yep. It's a beautiful valley. It will be more beautiful when it's covered in snow. I just can't believe there's any snow up there at all. Like a tiny speckling. Crazy. It should just be coated. But it'll be interesting to see what that looks like tomorrow morning. Right, I need to put a coffee on, so I'm gonna get my table set up and bring you all back. Okay, one thing I definitely do need to do, open the vents. So we've got two sets of vents up here. You've got mosquito mesh, so you can have that open if you want to, and you've got these snow vents that stop snow and spin drift from coming in. So we'll have these vents just open just to keep the air circulating in here. When we're cooking later, I think that will be important to do as well. Look how much room I've got in here, it's amazing. Now I wish I was staying for more than one night, but I can't. I mean, honestly, that didn't really take that long to set up. But because it was the first time I had to look at the instructions and everything else, it slowed me down a bit, but it didn't take that long. In a storm, yeah, it could be a bit tricky, but not so bad. Not so bad. I think it's doable. As long as you've pegged it out in advance in a storm, it'll be fine. I think, he says. The next one I do could be in a storm and will be in this tent. Because I'm going on to do another camp after this in a couple of days and taking all the same gear. And that will be another video. So that will be pretty epic. Right now, I need a coffee. I just want to sit there and look out So let's do that now. I love having this vestibule. I'm glad I put this on actually, because when it does rain, it did rain a minute ago. It means I can sit out here and I'm looking at that view that I showed you earlier of all the mountains, and it'll be fine. Now in the snow's going to come in, but I could sit further back and still look out. It doesn't matter if this gets covered in snow. It makes no difference. There's no floor of the tent. If I had an inner, I'd be more worried. Also, having an inner on this material, I wouldn't like it. Again, I don't see what an inner does. Unless you've got insects, it doesn't really make a difference. I guess it could trap some warmth in, stop the breeze. But if you're in snowy conditions, there won't be any breeze because it will have packed down the sides. You wait till you see my heater later. I'm going to set that up soon, actually, because it is getting cold. Right now, I've got my Iwatani grill. This thing is awesome. I've got my fast boil kettle. With the heat exchanger. We're going old school. I've got a Avalanche 99% sugar-free flat white. Remember when I used to have these all the time? Maybe camping. Thank you to everyone who's bought merch, by the way. I think the camping cups, the AB camping cups, and the hoodies, they seem to be favorites. Oh, and the hats. Okay, now I need to make a rubbish bag. Right, and while I'm waiting for that, a zesty drink as well. Cheers, everybody. Oh, yeah. What else have I got? Other gear. Well, I'm wearing those same boots that I wore up the tops my last trip, which is the Hoka Kaha 3s. These things are fantastic. So comfy, so warm, so grippy. I've got some Carhartt pants on that are lined, windproof and warm. These are lovely. Better than wearing jeans. They look like jeans, the material, but they're not. Got my Swan Dry, like farmer's anorak thing, fleece. Waterproof top, but mainly it's windproof, lovely and warm. And you saw all the other gear that I brought with me. I've got a ton more stuff. I've got a couple of puffer jackets, an Extreme Expedition puffer jacket. Probably won't need that on this one, but I'll need it on the next trip because I'm staying on the road. I've got 2 sleeping bags with me. I've got the Diamond Park 0F and I've got a UGQ, which is also 0 Fahrenheit. Just in case one gets wet and I need the other one. I didn't know. I don't know if this tent's going to leak. Hillberg tents are not designed for the rain. They're designed for snow. There's no seam sealing. So the stitching, it seals up. They do sort of say you're meant to seam seal the stuff yourself. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed it doesn't leak. The top of the tent though, that big vent cover is sealed. So I'm hoping it doesn't leak. But these things do sort of season themselves in the wet. The threads swell up and then they sort of seal, they expand. So I'm hoping that's what happens with this. I don't know. We've got some heavy rain coming. I don't know what's going to happen. Wind-wise, nothing extreme. Saying that, the wind is just starting to pick up a little bit. I've got a feeling it's going to come straight in the front of the tent here. So I might have to guy this thing out. I'm really hoping I don't have to because guy lines are a real pain. I trip over them all the time. And yeah, I think what we're going to do is, it's early. It's just 12 o'clock now. I had a breakfast already before I came out. I stayed at a motel nearby. So I'm not going to have any lunch yet. I might have a snack later. And I'm just hearing some raindrops now. So what we might do is might take you for a little wander again to show people the lake before it starts chucking down with rain. But I'm going to have my coffee and my zesty first. And then, yeah, bring you back. Oh, it's boiling. This takes no time. Wow, that was quick. This kettle is so fast. I can't even remember what it is. I can't remember who makes it. It's a heat exchanger kettle. I think it's fire maple or something like that. Is it fire maple? Yeah, fire maple. Very, very fast. Okay, so I'm going to have this and then I'll bring you guys back for a bit of a walk and just show you the area and what's going on. I think people are going to clear out of here soon because the weather is just, it's looking to be terrible. It's off season. I don't think many tourists want to be here. And the main track to that main glacier is closed because the bridge is unsafe. Cheers, everybody. Oh, yeah. Here comes the rain. So it's just coming in here slightly. So I'm going to have to move everything back just a bit. This is the advantage of having the vestibule. Haha. Perfect. And I can still see out, no problem. So we're meant to get a lot of rain before it becomes snow, and it won't be snow until I think tonight, midnight. Cheers, everybody. Right, before the rain gets really heavy, let's set the heating up. So I've opened the vent from the inside here. So I'm going to put the heating system into here and then I'll cinch it up like that. So it's going to be this system here goes in and then cinch this up completely. Like so. And then this plugs into my diesel heater. Which is here. This is a heat port diesel heater. So I've got an Anderson plug. That plugs straight into my battery bank. Okay. And I've got a remote control. So here's what you do. This end goes here like this. And then this is the intake. Might expand that out a bit. So I want to actually run it. There we go. Like that. Something like that. It should be fine. All right, so the smoke will rise. We'll be all good. Right, now I usually cover it a bit because of the electronics, but you don't actually have to. But I will in this case. I haven't worked this out fully. Okay, so with my remote control, I just press on, power on. And there's 5 different heat levels. Okay, it's set to P5, so that's the hottest. So this is going to start cranking in a couple of minutes. I can keep this closed. I've got spare diesel in here. I think it's a 5-litre tank. And that's just going to go in there. Now I need to set this up so that it kind of doesn't pool. Will that be okay? I think that's going to pool water though. I need to pull it outwards like that. I need to keep it here, so I might have to use some stones just to stop the thing from moving around a lot. Ah, that's it. There. Perfect. Might get another one. Okay, and you'll see the smoke start coming out of here. Can you hear that clicking? And soon we're going to have piping hot air in there. Who needs a hot tent fire when you got one of these? And I've got enough fuel I can just leave this running for a few days. So it's just about covered. Should be fine. There we go. Perfect. We're good. All right, let's go inside and check it out. Oh, it's starting to come down now. Right, so here's the vent. We just angle that right up like that. I can cinch this as well in case flies, whatever, but obviously that really isn't a big deal. And there we go. That's warm air already coming out of here. It's gonna get toasty hot in here soon. So what I can do is aim this down, because heat rises. And one of the things in these sorts of tents is you always notice it's boiling hot up above, freezing cold at the bottom. And that's working. And I think you can hear it with the microphone in front of it. That's hot air coming out now. It's really blasting out. That is so cool. It looks a bit rude. But that's better than a hot tent any day. No smoke, nothing, just nice dry air. And I can sleep with that on low tonight. That's gonna be lovely. Ah. This is awesome, I'm telling you. This vestibule, superb. And the view out here, I know you can't see it. You're looking at a toilet block, which isn't very nice. But I am looking straight up at the mountains. It's stunning. And I'm dry. And soon, I'm going to be very, very warm because that thing's going to be cranking out a ton of heat. So I think before we get to a deluge, I will take you for a walk up to look at the lake up here. Okay, sit rep. It's chucking down. Now, I was going to take you for a walk just to look at the lake, but it's really horrible out there. It's cold. It's just so grim. I don't want to go out. I've closed the door almost full, just so it gets hot in here, and it is warming up very quickly, but I just don't want to go out in this. It's horrible. So I'm just going to chill out because what else is there to do? I'm here to wait for the snow. I'm storm chasing. It would be nice if there were some windows so I could see out, because I don't like being cooped up. It's like the RBM tent. I couldn't see anything. But this is much bigger than the RBM tent, so there's a lot more space. It just feels like you're at home. You're just not looking out at anything. But yeah, no windows is a disadvantage. A couple of panels would be nice in the vestibule, maybe just one here and here. That would be nice just to be able to look out, but it's not a big deal. It's getting warm quite quickly in here now. I'm just going to leave that thing cranking constantly. So yeah, that's all there is to report. Nothing else going on. Just chill out. All right, it's quite a bit later. So I've made some adjustments. We are now wet in here. Look at this. It's sopping everywhere. Just pools of water flooding through. But it's okay because, you know, I expected this 100% because I knew I'd be on gravel. Anything that mustn't be in the water isn't in the water. That's a waterproof bag there, so it makes no difference. That's waterproof, the Hilleberg bag. So again, makes no difference. I'm up off the floor. I bought a couple of car mats in just to put my feet on. The heating, I accidentally pulled it a bit too hard when it was wet and I ripped this piece off. So I've had to cut it a bit and adjust it, but that's still cranking out lovely warm air. Now, it's never going to be as hot as having a stove. When you have a stove, it's baking hot and you have to turn it down all the time. And honestly, you cook. A hot tent is just, it's so uncomfortable. Whereas this, I can control it. I've got it cranking on full and it's warm in here. Compared to outside, there's a huge difference. But let's go out, have a look around, because it's been pelting down non-stop, just really chucking down. I've been checking the tent for any leaks. I haven't found any yet, touch wood. But you never know, you just got to keep looking. I keep looking for drops. It's quite deceiving on the eye. You think you see a drop or you see something, or you come in from the outside and you're wet, so you take your coat off, and then there's drops of water somewhere and you think, where did they come from? So let's go and have a look outside. It is grim. I'm going to put my waterproof trousers on and we'll go out. Okay, I'm suited and booted. Look, got my waterproofs on. My hiking shoes are waterproof. My top, very waterproof. Last time I was here, I wore a Hunter's Element halo and it leaked at the zip. This is an AquaGuard zip. No leaking. Right, we're going to go outside. I'm going to give you a tour of the whole place because I'm hoping now it's pretty quiet out there because no one's going to want to be out in this weather. It's just so grim. I mean, look how much water is in here on the floor, soaking through. And now we're on a hill, so it's all flowing down that way, out the back of the tent, disappearing, which is good. Now tonight, this might all freeze. There's a lot of snow forecast. Okay, so I need to get out here. Ugh. Yuck. Oh man. The people who are here, I hope they know what the forecast looks like. Okay. So let's just check that everything looks okay. So again, you see I haven't guided out. And look, all the water's flowing down here. It's just going down like that. My hose is steaming. Look at that. Look at the steam coming off this thing. See, look at that. It's just cranking away, doing its thing. It's doing a great job. And it's undercover, it's all good. And there's the air intake. Everything working fine. The tent itself, what a unit. It's an amazing piece of kit. Look at it. It's massive and it's so solid. The poles, now you know me, I like simple. I don't like loads of poles, but actually I don't mind this because I know it's strong, so it's for a good reason. Oh, it's a lot of rain. Gosh, there's still a lot of vehicles around. I can see some are packing up and going though. Let's have a look. Let me show you the facilities. Not that there are many, to be honest, because it's all mainly shut down. One last look at my little private spot. It's quite good because I'm on the top of the hill as well. All this water is flowing downhill. Now I don't know how many of these people are going to be staying here tonight. The ranger, last time this happened and a big snow dump came, the ranger came around and he actually kicked people out. He kicked, in fact, I think majority of people out, the camper vans. Anyone in a rental camper van he kicked out because they just wouldn't have been able to cope. They didn't have winter tires, they didn't have the gear. I've got a feeling there's a caravan over there that was here when I was here last time, and I met the family just over there as a caravan. And they chased the storms as well, so that might be them. The same people as last time. A lot of rental camper vans. It says Maui on the side of those vans. Like, this is a private van. He doesn't look like he's got any heating. So, he's in for a rough night, I think. Yeah, cool. So, this place shuts down for winter. It shut down a couple of days ago. By shutting down, I mean they switch off all the water supply because it all freezes. I'll show you what it says. So this facility is closed for winter. You can pause that and read it. Do not feed the Kia. Those are the mountain parrots. Very inquisitive, very cheeky birds. Let's have a look around. Gosh, I'm really surprised by all these camper vans that have come out in these conditions. So you see what I mean by that Maui van. Maui is a rental company, just like that Star RV is a rental company. That guy there, that's a private held one. So there's a kitchen block over here, which you can do prep in. It is open. Yeah, I'm sure that's the same caravan that was here last year. Positive it is. Now that'd be funny. And there are people in here, so I won't go in. But yeah, there's a kitchen block in here, toilet blocks, but the toilet blocks are closed, so there'll be temporary toilets elsewhere around the other side. No heating or anything, it's just dry. Oh, the toilets are still open. Interesting, okay. Yeah, toilet blocks are still open. Not for much longer, I'm sure in a few days they'll be closed. I think it's just because there were workmen here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of vehicles, people going for the walk. They've walked over there looking for the Hooker Glacier, but it's the Hooker Lake, but it's all closed because the bridge is washed out. Gets a lot of rain here. Serious weather here. We will see how many of these people are left tomorrow morning. Right. Back to camp. Right, anyway, make a note of what this all looks like because tomorrow This could be drastically different. This could be 1 foot, 2 feet under snow. Who knows? It could be frozen solid, or we could be just flooded out. Anything can happen. All right, God, my hands are freezing. Got to put the camera down. Get back to camp. Oh, well, I really would prefer this with snow. It'd be pretty epic. It's kind of grim like this. It's freezing cold. Actually, what is the temperature? 6 Celsius. Oh, here's the ranger. Right, so I've got to talk to the ranger and then I'll pick up later. But there's the ranger to come see how I'm doing. Okay, yeah, so the dock ranger just said they're closing the gate. They're telling people you're on your own. Leave now or you're stuck. Because of the big weather that's coming in. So whether those people leave or not, it's up to them, but they'd be pretty foolish to stay if they're only coming for one night, because they probably won't be able to get out tomorrow necessarily. None of them had snow tires, whereas I've got chains, snow tires, everything. Right, I need to get out of all this wet stuff. Okay, so sit rep. So yeah, talk to the ranger. They're closing the park now, about to close the gate. They're going around knocking on all the doors and telling everyone whose vans are there that you need to leave by tonight before the snow starts. That they're not letting anyone else in. This is exactly what happened last time, and I was stuck here, stranded for a considerable number of hours because the road was closed. But I think tomorrow what I'll do is, if it's really deep, I'll just push through and drive on out. I've got the tyres for it, shouldn't be a big problem, and I'm sure they'll clear it faster than they're saying they are. But yeah, that's it. They're expecting significant snow, so we'll see what happens. Right now the time is 3 o'clock, 3 p.m, 3:15. It's gonna start getting dark soon. It gets darker down here pretty early, so it'll be dark by 5 p.m, I think. And then we can start thinking about doing some dinner. It's warm in here, it's not hot. But that's as much as I expect from my diesel heater. I will be running that thing fully cranked all night, I think, because tonight the temperature's really gonna plummet. And yeah, I want a lot of hot air coming in here. And just keep everything zipped up, because the thing with the diesel heater also is it's dry heat. So it just dries everything out in here. You get no condensation, no moisture at all. It's a really nice dry heat, which is handy. The only time I'm gonna open up this door tonight is when I'm gonna start cooking. Because that's gonna make a hell of a mess. In the meantime, still just sitting back, chilling. I'm watching a couple of movies, and I'm about to have another coffee. Just relax. So one thing I am going to do is use my tent heater. So, keeps your feet warm. This is such a cool little thing. Okay, I worked it out. I hadn't locked the gas in place. That's why. My mistake, but all the instructions are in Korean. So, how was I going to work that out? Okay, here we go. It's going to keep my legs nice and warm. Upper half is warm. Everything I need. All right, bring you back for dinner. Oh man, okay, it's only a few minutes later. Definitely getting more intense out there. The other thing is the wind has picked up. So I don't know if you can notice, things are flapping around a bit now. And the tent is starting to rock a bit. Which means I have to go out there and start hammering in some pegs. Nightmare. Right, means I've got to put my rain jacket back on, get back out there, and get this done. It's pegging time. Oh, here we go again. Let's do this. Oh, yuck. Whew. Right, we've got a lot of guy lines to set up. But I think what I'll do is I'll just do the core ones. These are the strongest ones here. So I'll probably just do these. Not messing around this time, metal hammer. So with this one here, you wrap it around the pole. It makes it super strong. There we go. So now that whole thing is attached. Okay, and then on the other side as well. All right. Whew. All done, all pegged out, tightened everything up. Guy lines are out. It's now so stable. It barely moves at all. And I've fully guyed out the vestibule now. So that's now stable as well. That's barely moving because it's got to take a snow load. And this is going to be the weak point, the vestibule. It's going to build up on the door, but there's nothing I can do about that. I'll have to kick it out of the way. I've got a snow shovel with me. It's looking much better. Much more taut. All right, been out here for quite a while. Enough of this nonsense. Let's go back in. So just as I was about to get in, the ranger has come again. He's just behind me. And he just wanted to give me another warning. They've just got an updated weather forecast that perhaps way more snow than they predicted, and that we could be stuck here up to 5 days. Now, it's their job to give these warnings. It's what the rangers do, but they apparently no one else is being allowed to stay, or if they do, it's at their own risk. They're not going to be rescued. Most of these guys do not have enough heating or food to last in case, so I don't know what they're going to do. Hey, look, it's snowing up the top. I've just noticed it's now covered in snow up there. So just up there is snowing, so it's coming soon. It's coming down. Yeah. All right, so we could be here for the long haul. I was meant to be out of here tomorrow. I might be staying another day, but it makes no difference to me. Okay, back into the warm tent. Oh. Hey, at least they give us warnings. Can you imagine if they said, oh, but they're kicking everyone else out that can go, camper vans. Me, can you imagine me having to pack all this up now after I've just put it all together? That would be annoying. Woo. It's warm in here. Oh, it's cold out there. It's about 5 degrees now out there, and in here, up here, it's 14 degrees. So it feels really warm compared to out there. Obviously 14 degrees is not that warm. Right, I've got to get out of these wets again. All right, I found a leak. Look. Water here. So that's tracked through the zip somewhere here. Now the zips are always the weakest points on Hillberg tents. And this is the vestibule zip. So it must just be pooling somewhere here and getting caught and then coming in. Yeah, I think it's wet here on the seam, but not here because it's got the rain cover on. It's where the rain cover ends, which is just here. Oh well, that's what I predicted somewhere. But yeah, the zips are always the weakest point. But the rest of it seems fine. No leaking on the seams from what I can tell, which is a good thing because I don't want to get dripped on tonight. But I do have the big rain cover on as well. Right, I've got to hunker down. Oh, and in other news, my Stony Creek Stow-It Pro also leaks. Oh man, it leaks at the pocket. This seam above the AquaGuard zip is not sealed. So it came hemorrhaging into the pocket, which is also not sealed, and then soaked my top. Look at that. What is it with you lot? You just can't create decent products. So I'm done with that jacket as well. I should have just bought my First Light. The First Light does not leak, and neither does the Montbell. But that's it. I'm now officially done with Stony Creek Stow-It Pro. I tried it. Leaks like a sieve. That was a lot of water on my top there. And I'm done with the Hunter's Element Halo. I'm now completely going to the First Light Vapor and the Montbell. What can I do? I tried it. I tried, but they both leak. They both suck. Sit rep. More leaking. This one is not as good. So this is the roof panel that's meant to be protecting us, and it's leaking at the seam here. Look at that. That's quite bad. So yeah, that's coming through the vent. So if it does it on this side, my bed is right above it. So I'm hoping it doesn't do it on this side as well. Let's have a look. There's some splashes. So what I'm looking for is an accumulation of water in the vent. There's a tiny splash here. Is it leaking here as well? Yep, that's leaking. Yeah. That's leaking at the seam. Actually, is that... I can't tell if it's condensation or if it's leaking. No, that's leaking. That's too much water to be condensation. Okay, so the roof panel, they didn't seam seal that either. Typical. I can't catch a break. As I said, this is designed for snow. Right, so I'm going to have to be careful with this because I don't want an accumulation of water in here. I'm hoping it will seal up a bit, but look, it's going to stop as soon as it starts snowing anyway and gets to freezing. So that's my only saving grace. But I've got a lot of things on here that I need to seam seal. Now, that's quite bad up there though. That's a lot of drops. So I've got to seam seal this whole tent at some point. Hey ho, Hillberg. Not usually waterproof. But everybody really knows this. It's a sort of a known thing about Hillbergs, is they're designed for snow, not for rain. Hey ho. That's it, rep. It's about half an hour later. Something has changed. I can hear a different sort of noise, and now I'm seeing ice or something building up on the outside. Like that. That's ice on the outside. Oh, there, look. I don't know if that's going to come out on camera, but there's splodges. So I guess we're going to go and have a look and see if it's snowing, which means I need to put my flipping rain jacket on again. What I might do is, because this rain jacket's useless, it's leaked like a sieve and it is soaked. So if I run out to the car, I have my negative 18 jacket, which is waterproof. My Expedition jacket. So I can put that on instead. So I've just got to run out there, put my cap on, and then we'll do this. Okay, let's see what's going on out here. Oh, zip is so far away. Needs to put a string on it. Let's see what's going on. No, it's still raining. Oh no, it is snowing. That's big fat clumps of snow. Here we go. Whew. Let's get under the cover here. Oh man. Oh yeah, that's a bit of snow. Okay, I need to, let me just put you there for a sec. Let me just get my big jacket. Of course, it would help if the car wasn't locked. Oh, okay. So This is waterproof. My Stella expedition jacket. All right, that's better. Oh man, that's warm. Wow, that's like getting into a warm bed. Oh, okay. Ha. Right, so let's see what we're dealing with out here. Let me just clean the camera. All right, it's a mix of rain and snow, and it's slushing up. Look at that. Yeah, so I think this is it. This is the transition now to snow. That's happened a bit quicker than I thought it was going to happen. The snow on the mountains still hasn't come all the way down here, so this is just wet stuff. But I'm actually kind of glad because it was dripping inside. Just not designed for rain. I've checked my diesel heater. I've still got loads of fuel. But what I'll do tonight before bed is I'll come back out and I'll refill the diesel, because I've got a whole tank of it there. That's 20 litres, which is what, 5 gallons? Yeah, so I've got plenty. So now nothing to do except wait for this snow to really kick in, and then we can have dinner in the snow and cigar time in the snow. I wonder how deep this is going to get. All right, bring you back later, everybody. Okay, I think the snow is falling quite consistently now, and I've got to go back out again. It's quite late now. I've got the light on and clear the Starlink, because it seems to have got blocked. And then when I do that, I've got to change the setting on it to turn on the automatic heating function. Oh man, I can't win. Right, here we go, back out into the grim. Let's see how much snow is on this tent. Oh, not much. Not much at all. So let's check the Starlink and see what's going on. Well, there's absolutely no reason why that wouldn't work. Very odd. Couldn't get a signal. Thermometer, let's have a look. Oh, it's just above 0. All right, well that doesn't make any sense. Very strange. Snow! Check it out. Oh, this is going to look lovely when it's covered. Absolutely lovely. But it is cold. Oh, okay. Did all that for nothing. Right. Let's go for a little wander. Let's go and see who's left on the campsite. I'm kind of curious. Let's go and have a look. I can't imagine there's many people here now. Snow is starting to settle. And if there's no one around, we can go and look in. Oh, look, there's rabbits. We can go and look in the building, the kitchen area, see what's going on in there. I can't see any vehicles yet. I think I see one. I mean, these are grim conditions. Why would you want to be here at 930 meters above sea level in a what they've said is going to be a storm? I'm pretty sure I see one camper van parked over there, maybe two. Very, very wet snow, and I think it's just starting to rain again. It's going to be on and off like this for a little bit. And some people might still have gone up to the track, might be heading back here. Well, the caravan is gone. What's that over there? One vehicle? No, nothing in this car park either. Wait, am I all by myself? How creepy is that? Yeah, everyone has been kicked out except me. Wow. It's just me. And I know the gates are closed now and locked. Interesting. And those ranger houses are only open in the summer. So there's nobody here. Well, c'est la vie. Right, I'll show you what the kitchen area looks like. Toilets are now closed. That's it for the season. But the kitchen area is open. Look, someone left the door open. Idiots. Oh. So this place does have lighting. Maybe it's on a timer or something. You can't see anything in here really. Yeah, cool. I can see my tent. So there is lighting in here somewhere. Yeah, there's LED strips. I don't know why they're not working. Oh well, we'll close this door on the way out. I can't believe someone just left it like that. So yeah, this is the kitchen area with some bins. Very, very basic. That sink won't work, it's all switched off. There won't be any water, maybe something left in there. Nope. No, all shut off. But you know what, if it got really, really, really horrible out there, you just bring all of your gear in here and hunker down. Right, back to camp then. Bring you back at the tent. Home sweet home, the igloo. I think that's what we're going to have to call it. Awesome. All right, let's get inside. Out of this misery. Oh. Yeah, snow build up on the door makes it difficult to close. Oh, okay, and we're in. Woo! Nightmare. Oh, it's warm in here. Nice. All right, bring you back. Right, it's dinner time. So we've got to go back out. I haven't had a look. The door is open. I can see there's some snow there, but I haven't had a look for ages. So we're going to go out. I'm going to go get my food from the truck. Let's go do it. I mean, look at the carnage that's going on in here. By the way, I've got to point out, my jeans got wet, my trousers. They got damp because water seemed to have somehow got in as well, even on these, through the zips. And I think that was my mistake, was because I hadn't closed them up properly or something. Yeah, so it trickled down, which is a shame. But anyway, I've now got my ski pants on. These things are so warm. These are called 686, and yeah, these are super warm. Right, let's go to the truck, and because we're going to be cooking, I've got to open this fully. Oh, it's a lot. Oh, wow, a lot of wet snow. Ugh. Gosh. Let's do that. Oh, it's a winter wonderland. Let's turn the brightness up for you. Look at that. Awesome. Ha ha. Right, let's go to the truck because I'm getting snowed on. I bet you can't see anything. Oh, let's just check the heating, see what's going on here. Yep, that all looks the same. Good. Oh, okay. God, creepy to think I'm the only one here. Right, so what we've got, what I'm going to do for dinner tonight are burgers. It'll be nice and quick. Got buns, burgers. I was going to have tomato and mustard, but I'm just going to have tomato ketchup. Do I want cheese on these? I could put a couple of pieces of cheese. And then the rest of the food stays here. All right. Okay, so I'll bring you back inside the tent, cooking some lovely burgers in the snow. Oh, I hope you can see me. Right, okay, I've got to push the snow off. Because that was really drooping down. She said, okay, we're all good now. Right, can you see me? I honestly, I'm just hoping you can. So I've got my cob grill. Every time I go out, I just get covered in snow and get soaked each time. Quite a pain. So I'm just not going to be doing that much often anymore. I'm going to stay in here. Okay. Gas. Okay, flame on. Alright, flame on. Okay, we don't need the pizza oven. We just need the grill. Right, that goes on there. With holy moly, these flakes. So I've got my little tent heater going here as well. My towel that I brought with me is already wet from wiping condensation, myself, my jackets. Everything is just getting absolutely caked. It's crazy. But this is what I wanted, was snow. This has started quite a bit earlier than I thought it would actually. It's 7:45. I wasn't expecting it to really kick off until a bit later. So, it's what it is. Right, so as soon as this is up to temperature, we'll put the burgers on. And the burgers we're having are Angus, premium Angus burgers. Right, so just wait for this. Oh. Okay. This is smoking. Let's put the burgers on. And I've got a couple of brioche buns that I've got to cut in preparation for our feast of burgers and buns. So there's been a weather update. I think it's going to be a lot less snow than they thought it was going to be. I think we'll be lucky to have 6 inches. I can't see it being at most a foot. But they were saying be prepared to be stuck here for 5 days. I think they were just trying to scare people out of the campground. That's what I think. I don't think they really genuinely ever thought that. Because they're right there as well. Nearby. The ranges are nearby. So, I don't know. Don't know what they were thinking really. So, after this, obviously, we're going to have cigar time. I'm just enjoying being in this snow. I'm liking the fact this tent that I can sit under cover. Oh, hood off. That I can sit under the vestibule and look out, and the snow's not coming in. It's just coming in, obviously, under the vestibule, but that doesn't matter to me. Makes no difference because the floor's wet anyway. So that makes no difference whatsoever. This little heater, it's quite useful. Okay. I guess I'll bring you back when the burgers are ready. But it really is snowing properly now. There's no more rain. It was meant to rain until about midnight, then snow. It's already snowing at 8. I wonder how much snow we're going to get. I'm sure you already know because it will be in the thumbnail and it will be in the intro. But it will still be interesting. Alright everyone, bring it back for burgers. Oh, and I might have a zesty drink. Vanilla Coke Zero. I am going to keep that heater running all night. So I do need to go out there and refill the diesel, I think, before I go to bed. So I don't want it going out. It will be a condensation nightmare in here and freezing cold if that goes out. A survival situation. Right, burgers. Okay, I think burgers are ready. Let me just... I've toasted the bottom bun. Oh yes. I've put a piece of cheese on the burgers. Oh man, these are going to be so good. We'll turn this heat off. Okay, one cool thing that's happening is all the smoke is blowing straight out. Very cool. Right, I need tomato ketchup. I've been waiting for these desperately. I'm sure some people are going to say you should toast the top bun. Honestly, I can't be bothered. I'm so starving now. I just want them like this. Ah, and here we go. 2 delicious cheeseburgers, Angus cheeseburgers, in a snowstorm. Great success! Bon appetit, everybody. Oh wow. What more could I want? Burgers, tent, snow. So if I was in Buddy right now, if I'd brought Buddy here, my camper van, and had parked in this spot, I would just be sitting in there. You can't have the awning out because it won't be able to take the weight of the snow. Absolutely nothing would happen. I'd just be sitting in the camper van. And I'm sure you'd find that all boring. Buddy is good to be in for storms. Blizzards. I wouldn't want to be in a blizzard in this. Where the winds are howling. I'm confident the tent can take it. I just don't want to be in it. I tell you what, the condensation in here is absolutely next level now. Wow. I don't know what it's going to look like in the morning. The trouble with this tent also is, I think the roof vent gets covered in snow. I really wish it had the vents like the Namage has. The Hilleberg Namage has these pop-out vents that are brilliant in the snow. So good. All right, everyone. Bring you back for cigar time. Welcome back, everybody, to cigar time. So lots happened. It's still snowing. It did rain a little bit, but now it's snowing. I've just got the kettle on here to make a hot chocolate. My little foot warmer gas stove has run out of power, and I can't be bothered to change it. What I did instead was I put toe warmers in my boots, which are lovely. And I'm just brewing a hot chocolate now. So, yeah, what a perfect evening. Look at these snowflakes. They're incredible. I wonder how much snow we're gonna get tonight. I think in the morning it should be pretty epic. So I want to thank everyone as usual for coming along on my journeys. I'm sorry there's no Bernie and Bolly on this one. Well, Bernie anyway. But they always make an appearance at the end of the video. I don't know about this time. It depends if I can get out of here in the morning or not. But yeah, just no dogs allowed in national parks. And this is a national park, I'm afraid. Oh, I've got to stir. They never stir. But this chocolate doesn't... There you go. Yeah, so thanks everybody. Thank you to all of our YouTube members, everyone who's bought merch, everyone who's bought us coffees on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the likes, subscribes, comments, everyone who's signed up to Facebook, to Instagram, to my email list on abcampingoutdoors.com. Thank you so much. Thank you to all our Patreon members and everyone who sends letters and packages to the P.O. Box. Thank you again so much. And make sure you go and subscribe to to the channel. A lot of people don't bother subscribing, but it does help. Just click subscribe. That's all you got to do. It doesn't cost you anything. So, on my last video, I said I learned the Argentinian tango with Anne. Anne asked me to do it, so I did it in Barcelona, and there is a video of it. And I said if we get 1,000 comments asking for the tango video, then I will post it. Well, we're not at 1,000 comments asking for it yet, not at the time of filming. So it's looking likely though, because I think there's like 750 comments asking for it. So you never know. Maybe the next video after this, it will come out. Can you believe the size of these snowflakes? They're enormous. Wow, it's really coming down. This is awesome. So yeah, the tango video might happen. What else is going on? The news that just came out a couple of days ago. Ukraine managed to launch a drone attack on Russia that they've been planning for over a year. This thing was insane, like out of a movie. They managed to trick some Russian drivers into driving these trucks near these bases that were in the middle of nowhere. They launched all these drones remotely. The truck drivers were trying to knock them out of the sky with rocks. And they blew up a whole load of Russia's planes, long-distance bombers, nuclear bombers, and everything else. It was audacious, an amazing accomplishment for Ukraine. They say they did it all by themselves without anyone else's involvement. Seems a bit weird. I mean, the drones must have come from somewhere else. They said they made them, but it was all in English, which, why would it be in English if Ukrainians made them? But anyway, pretty epic. My concern now is what happens. What's the retaliation? By the time this video comes out, you'll probably already know. So I don't know. Look, maybe no retaliation at all. I'm not sure. But yeah, look, they had it coming. So good on them. Good on Ukraine. Well done. It was a great thing to do, and Russia definitely had it coming. So, you know, mess around, find out, as they say. I'm going to keep this really short, this one, because I'd rather spend more time in the morning in the snow, and I don't want to make this video really, really long. So just a couple of sporting things. Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, won the Champions League, and then their supporters completely ruined it by rioting in the streets, and I think someone died, or a couple of people died. It was horrible. Why can't people just celebrate nicely? I think, weren't there riots once where a few years ago in Philadelphia won the Super Bowl? Something like that. Fans just go ballistic, and I have no idea why. I don't know. Football and American football seem to bring out the worst in people when they celebrate. Also in Formula 1, in Barcelona, the race there, it was a crazy race, but Max Verstappen had to give a place back to George Russell because he'd gone off track and got ahead of him. Anyway, those are the rules. And he was told to do this. He argued. He hated it. Anyway, so he did it. He slowed down. George Russell went past, and then Max Verstappen basically just drove into him deliberately out of sheer petulance and red mist at having to do it. Just sheer petulance. Kind of reminded me of the Ayrton Senna days. Ayrton Senna used to do stuff like that. But he got punished, and he's got 3 penalty points in his license. 1 more penalty point, and he's got a race ban, which will basically be the end of his season. So petulance never pays off. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. It was a silly move. I can't believe he did that. So you know what? That's it. Very, very short cigar time because it's cold. I want to zip this tent up. I want to keep the heat in, get warm before I go to bed. Try and dry it out a bit. I think once I seal it up, the diesel heater will dry it all up. But before I do any of that, I'm going to finish the cigar, have my hot chocolate, and then we'll go out and we'll fill up the diesel. So I'll show you me filling the diesel up in the diesel heater. And then, yeah, it'll be bedtime. and I'll bring you back for that afterwards. But thanks again for coming on this video, on this camping trip, everyone. I'm discombobulated now. I'm just looking at all this snow. And let's see, fingers crossed we get a lot of snow for the morning. Any, to be honest, is good, a good result for us. With the way the climate is going, the way things are warming up in New Zealand, we're getting less and less snow. Every year it's getting less and less. And to the point where ski fields are just bone dry, no snow on them. It's crazy. I think New Zealand is particularly vulnerable, susceptible to what's going on with the climate. And yeah, it really is warming up, and there doesn't seem to be anything we can do about it. So it doesn't matter what we do now. I think it's all too late. So bring it back for filling up the diesel. All right, time to put the diesel in the tank. So I need to try and do this without shutting the thing off accidentally. It's a messy job. And because it's diesel and not petrol, gasoline, you can do it while it's still running. It's fine. Not much is going to happen. Okay. Right, so it's here. It's used. Let me tell you how much it's used. I'd say it's used just over half. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Ugh. Don't do this with petrol or gasoline, I mean. So this has been running at full power all day. And it's used just over half. That's pretty good going. And I think it's a 4.5 litre tank. So I'm putting the rock on just in case it's windy. Right, that's it, easy. That's it, simple. Wonderful. Okay, all done. So that'll easily be enough until tomorrow morning. I won't have to go and check it in the middle of the night or anything. But hey, it's pretty amazing how it's just running and keeping it all warm in there. Mildly warm. It's not hot in there at all, but it's better than being out here. Right, everyone, bring you back at bedtime. Right, before I go to bed, I just want to clear some of this snow out of the way. Oh. Okay. Oh. Woo. That's it. All right, bring you back at bedtime. Oh, all tucked in. I tell you what, whew, it's cold. It's cold down here. Up there, it's 15 degrees Celsius. Down here, I don't know what it is, but it's a lot colder. I'm glad I've got this 0 degree bag, 0 Fahrenheit, because, so what is 0 Fahrenheit? Minus 12? Oh, minus 18, something like that, I don't know. But this diamond part bag is just been a lifesaver before. I've used it in extreme conditions up on the mountains, up on Mars. So what I'm hoping is the heater dries it out in here, because the condensation is biblical. And what I don't want is a whole lot of condensation dripping on me all night. So now that I've closed it all, I've got a ground vent open just over here. But now that I've closed the top vents and everything else, I'm hoping the heat just builds up in here and it's a dry heat. So it's fresh air coming in that's being heated and then pumped into here. So there's positive pressure in here. So I'm hoping it will push the condensation out through that vent down there. At least that's the plan. I know that I've filled it up with fuel, so it's going to run all night, no problem at all. I don't know if I'm going to sleep well tonight. I honestly don't. It's bucketing down with snow out there. I can hear it. I can hear it because I punched all the snow off before I got into bed. But we'll see how much the accumulation is. I read somewhere that this tent, someone used it in Antarctica, an explorer, and said it withstood an incredible amount of snow. 2 feet of snow and gale force winds, over 100 kilometers an hour, and it didn't budge. So I know it's built for major conditions. I tell you what's not going to be fun though, is packing this thing down with all that snow. Gosh, that's going to be an absolute nightmare. And this tent is wet. It's going to be carrying a lot of weight. Oh, you never know. I might have to do 2 nights here. We'll see. I don't know. It's meant to get down to some seriously cold conditions tomorrow. Or the next night, tomorrow night. It's meant to get down to -10 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. You'll have to Google it. But that could worry me a bit if this is all frozen solid. And how well is that diesel heater going to work in those conditions? Everything's going to freeze. The ground's going to freeze solid. It will be a chunk of ice. Oh man, I do pick them. Alright everyone. Unless something major happens in the middle of the night, I'll see you in the morning. Good night everybody. Morning everybody. Oh, it's cold. Temperature's definitely dropped. All the heating as predicted is right up there. But it's okay because I've got this really massive quilt. I slept pretty well, actually. Just the sounds of the snow and stuff. But I've got to show you something. We've had a bit of a catastrophic failure with the vestibule. So, I'm kind of stuck. I'm going to have to go out of this door. But I'll get dressed and I'll show you what's going on. It's now 7:30, so it's only just starting to get light. So let me get dressed and I'll bring you back and show you the damage. Alright, I'm suited and booted. So here's the situation. The vestibule has completely collapsed. See? So somewhere under there's a pole. And I think the pole is now broken. Maybe the pole is snapped. We're going to have to go outside to assess the damage. So I'm going to take my shovel. We'll go out the back way and we'll go and see what we're dealing with. Oh. Okay. Now the bigger issue I've got is trying to find the zip on this thing because of all the snow. We could actually... Let me turn you around so you can see. The problem I've got is all the snow is built up here. See? So trying to get to the zip is a bit of a nightmare. Oh man, didn't foresee this being an issue. This is why it'd be handy if the zip would open at the top. Okay, zip's at this end. Alright, got it. Oh! Oh! God, that was cold. You gotta laugh. That could have been quite bad. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we're dealing with outside. Okay. Oh, that's not bad at all. That's only... This isn't even half a foot of snow. This is like 4 inches, 3 inches if that. Oh, yeah, yeah. Right, let's walk around and see what's going on with the vestibule. Oh, it's a nice morning. What's going on? Oh gosh. Oh yeah, the pole is completely buckled. Oh no. Right, I've got to deal with this. Yeah, the pole has actually snapped. Just from that amount of snow, that's it, it's snapped. Unbelievable. They put these massive poles on here and then this one thin pole on the vestibule. No wonder it snapped. Oh man. That wasn't much snow at all. That's very disappointing. I'm very disappointed in Hilberg. This vestibule is not cheap. So there is a sleeve repair kit that it comes with, luckily. So I will be able to fix that temporarily. Wow. No more than 3 inches of snow and it's gone. Whew. The rest of it's absolutely fine. But you can see on the truck there's only about 3 inches. All right, let's get on with it. Oh, I don't know where to start. Gotta find the bottom of the fabric. Okay, got the zip. I mean, look at this. Look at where it's snapped. And look. It's a piece of it. It's just gone. This piece here. Wow. Let me just put this in the camera so you can see it. Look at that. Can you see that? It's just sheared off the end. So I'm going to need to use the pole sleeve repair kit to somehow combine this. Now I haven't checked the repair kit, so I don't know exactly what it looks like. Excuse the R shot. Oh, and this one's bent. Of course it is. So this is going to be all the way up here. Oh man. Oh, this is snapped into 3 pieces. Look at that. With the cord. Well, I don't know how you're meant to repair that. Right, I've got to go and get the repair kit and see what I've got to do. Okay, this is the pole repair kit. So they give you 1 extra sleeve and a joiner that you can wedge around both. So what I've got to do is work out which bits are good. So this bit is still good with the elastic in. This one still seems to be good. So what I'll do is, all I've got to do is make up for that one piece that's snapped, which is this piece here. Here. Well, that replicates this piece. So I don't even think I'll need the pole sleeve strengthener. I've got the end here. I'll just thread this through this way, and this should all link up. Okay. It goes like that. Now it is bent a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so I should be able to unclip this. Because I don't want to stress it here. Alright. So this is going to want to fall off the end because there's no elastic, but that's okay. I can deal with that. Right, so that should slot in. Yep. And it should hold. Oops. Hold on. I need to wedge this bottom one in. Yeah, so the whole pole is ruined. I need new elastic. Could do with a new pole, but to be honest, this whole thing should be the same pole structure as these ones. This is definitely a flawed design to make the Vestibule weaker poled than the others. Alright, so let's try again. Now that I've repaired that sleeve. Now as far as I know, Hilleberg are the only company in the world that supply their tents with pole repair kits. I've never seen that in any other tent, where it just comes with it by standard. And that's what makes Hilleberg. Even if they should have used a bigger pole here. And just like that, the Vestibule is repaired. Ta-da! Okay, it's bent here. I'm not going to try and fix that because I don't want it to snap. Come on, Hilleberg. 3 inches of snow, not even that. Because I cleared it off last night. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I'll write to them and see what they say. But that's nuts. But hey, we're back up and running. And it's a lovely morning. It's not snowing anymore. It says the highway is closed. I don't believe that. So what we'll do, we're going to have a nice breakfast, a nice cup of coffee, and then we'll pack up and we'll head off because I can drive through this no problem at all. Yeah, let's have a coffee. Right, pole repair kit. So even the big one, I can't even imagine. There's 2 massive sections in here for the really huge poles. I wish, that's the flaw, that they didn't use the same pole type for the Vestibule. They really should have done. This just isn't strong enough. Not for a heavy load. All right, enough whining about that. Coffee time. Oh, getting hot now. We're going to go with Moccona strong cappuccino. Yeah, so the whole Vestibule was resting on the cooker. Now the funny thing is, I didn't hear it in the middle of the night collapse. That's probably because I had the diesel heater running and it's quite noisy. So how did I sleep? Well, yeah, I had a good sleep. I was comfy, I was warm. I had to put my hood up. So the temperature difference, I did check. The temperature difference, so down here where I was sleeping, was about 1-2 degrees, like 3 degrees, just above freezing. Up in the ceiling, it was 16, 17 degrees Celsius. Again, you just have to Google it, I'm sorry. I don't know. I could put it in the edit, but the thing is, people ask me why can't I put the temperatures in. I forget that I've said things, and I don't when I'm editing these videos, I don't watch every single minute on the replay. I just trim the beginning and the end because I want you just to have the authentic experience. But sometimes I have to take some other hours of footage and trim it down. Right, I am now hot to official. This jacket, okay, it's a bit overkill. It's designed for 8,000 meters. So good sleep. The weather, yeah, that was average snow. 3, 4, I mean, I'm looking out there, it's like 4 inches. Okay, 5 inches of snow, that's it, I'd say most has fallen. I can't believe this collapsed with 5 inches of snow. Imagine if I had had a foot of snow. This would just be completely pancaked on the floor. So Hilleberg, so Petra, who runs Hilleberg, I've got to say to her, look, you need to redo this vestibule with the bigger poles. One reason why they might not have done that is it's too tight a space for that thicker pole. That could be it, but they could pre-bend the poles. Then it would work. But as it stands, nothing I could have done would have stopped that from happening. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'd have had to get up every half hour, bash the snow off. It's just the pole just gave way. Such a shame. The other thing they could do is double pole it. Now that's an option. 2 poles. That might do it. And I think 2 poles can fit in the sleeve, and you just clip alternately. I'll ask her. Anyway, because to me the vestibule is essential. And now I'm stuck with a pole that's broken, and I'm meant to do another camp now. But we'll see if I do that or not. It depends if there's any weather coming in. I think whatever's happened here is over, because I can see a little bit of thin, I can see a little bit of blue peeking through some thin cloud up there. But just as I say that, it's now starting to snow again. Alright, so plan today. Coffee, essential. Then we'll cook up some breakfast. And I think what we're going to do is have a waffle. I haven't had a waffle for a while. I want waffle, maple syrup. And I can just do that at the back of the truck. Plug it in. I've got a waffle maker. Run it off the electricity, no problem. I've still got loads of power left. And then we'll pack down, which I'm dreading. And we'll head off. I was going to take you for a walk some places, but the tracks are closed. Yeah. Alright, coffee's almost ready. Right, I want a little bit of peace and quiet. I don't want to listen to the heater anymore. So I'm going to turn it off because I don't think I need it anymore. And if I need to give it one quick blast, I will later. So I've got the remote control, just press the off button. And that's it. That goes through its shutdown phase safely. It burns off any soot. And then after a couple of minutes, it stops. You're not meant to just pull the power out of these things. You have to shut them down properly, or else, yeah, it soots up on the glow plug, and it's a bad idea. Yeah, and it's shut down. Now we can enjoy the peace and tranquility of this beautiful spot. have my coffee. Before we do breakfast, I think I've got to do the customary walk in the snow to hear the snowy footprints, because it just sounds so great when you go for a wander in the snow. Let's go and have a look at the camp now. I wonder how my Starlink is doing. Look at that melt function on the Starlink. Ha! This is why I've got internet. I wonder how much fuel I have left. Oh, half a tank. Good job. Oh, look at this. See, I told you that would be covered in snow. You can just see the ridge. Beautiful. Just beautiful. And to have it all to myself. Not a soul around. Oh, and in the distance, you can't really make it out, but there's the lake. Long, long way away there. Start of the Lake Pukaki. Stunning. I need waffles. This coat's so hot. So it has a very different sound actually, the snow here to the snow in, say, Alaska or Canada. Because it's so much colder and drier there, it crunches. The snow doesn't go anywhere, it just powders away. You can't make snowballs with it even. Here, it's wet, big, chunky snowflakes that you can easily make snowballs out of, because there's a lot of water content. So the sound is different. Doesn't have that crisp, crunchy sound that I got in Alaska or Canada. What a camp. Only one failure. Okay, it's a pretty big failure to be honest, but only one failure, a pole snap. But the main structure, no problem at all. Look, you can see the bend. Look at that. That's where it's bent. This pole here. So that pole's ruined. The whole thing's ruined really, because you've got to undo it all, rethread it and everything else. What I'm thinking is 2 poles, because this sleeve can take 2 poles. So 2 poles in, and you attach a clip on each different side of the pole. 2 poles would hold it. Why didn't they supply it with 2 poles, or even mention 2 poles? I don't get it. I don't understand that. Anyway, enough whinging about that. So this is the air vent I had open all night. You can see in. But I had, it was venting on the top as well. It's a great tent. I really like this tent. If I hadn't put the vestibule on, I wouldn't have had a failure at all. But it's good to test these things. This vestibule is over $1,000. $1,000 US just for that vestibule. And the first bit of snow, 3 inches of snow, 4 inches of snow, and it broke. I know I'm going on about it, but you know, I hate gear failures. I just do. So the Stony Creek jacket, that leaked like a sieve. I was soaked inside. Gear failure, hate it. And now this, over $1,000, snapped pole. Nightmare. White, waffles. Right, time for waffles. My trusty waffle maker by Breville. This thing is so good. Okay, so what we need to do is, first I need to check you can see me. It's suddenly got really bright. I've got to show you this. Look at this. Look at that. How majestic. And there's a peak, look, over there. Just popping out. So beautiful. The ridgeline is stunning. I told you it would be covered in snow. And just think there was nothing up there yesterday at all. Isn't that amazing? Beautiful. Okay, so waffle maker. Good to go. What I might do is just give it a quick spray first. It doesn't really, oh gosh, it's so cold that my canola oil is solidified. Right, so we turn, my inverter is on, waffle maker is on. We turn that up to, we want them crispy. 6. This is going to start making a lot of noise. Okay. I've got Edmund's buttermilk pancake mix. Just fill it up to the line. I've been making waffles or pancakes at camp on these videos for YouTube, I guess for 5 years now. Might have made this a bit too runny. It's because there's this last bit that doesn't want to go out. Come on. I always end up with this bit. But that will thicken. Okay. We just wait for this to heat up and we're good to go. I've got some delicious Queen pure Canadian maple syrup. Alrighty. Wait for the bing. While this is doing it, I was just checking my battery. I'll bring it up on the screen, but it's about 66% now. And it's showing the state of charge that I've got a few hours left running it like this, but still having 66% after having run everything yesterday. Fridge, diesel heater, lights, all sorts, and the Starlink, which was heating. That's great. So I've got 300 amp hour battery here, 2 batteries. They're also the new heated type, so they can recharge when I start the truck up. Otherwise they won't charge if they get to 0. But currently they're running at like 2 degrees. Yeah, loads of power. Right, we shouldn't be long now until we get our ding. There it is. Okay. Don't overfill it, Tony. I think I do it every time. All right. Yeah. It's lifting. All right, so I wait for that to bing again, and we're good to go. Waffle. Oh, I'm definitely going to be having 2 of these. At least. Starving. So, last night I woke up, actually this morning, about 3 o'clock, and I did feel a bit cold, sort of like a phantom coldness, and it's because I needed to go to do pee, basically. I'd been resisting it. If you don't go to the toilet, if you hold it all night, your body's got to keep that warm. So it uses a lot of energy and you'll get cold quite quickly. So pee bottle to the rescue. I know people don't want to hear about these things, but that's how you do it. You got to go. Otherwise you will get cold in the night. Right, this shouldn't take long. All right, we've had a beep. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Wowza. Oh, come on. Oh my goodness. Huh. All right, bit of maple syrup. Gotta slather that on. Waffle at 950 meters in the snow. Check it out, with maple syrup. Oh, this is going to be good. I've forgotten my fork, so a spoon will do. Mmm. Mmm. Oh yeah. I've got to put another one on. Have to. It's got to be done. That's so good. Oh, why don't I have waffles more often? Okay, everyone. I'm gonna have another waffle, and then I'll bring you back inside for one more coffee, and then we'll pack up. Bon appetit, everybody. Okay. Oh, those waffles. Wow, they were beautiful. Right, I've put the heater back on because I just want to try and dry it out in here a little bit. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. I'm not looking forward to this pack down. One last coffee. One last treat. I don't even know if we can get out of here. I'm sure we can. There's just no way there's enough snow here. I know they say the road is closed. Won't be closed. They'll have opened it by the time I'm all packed up and ready to go, definitely. Because there's just not enough snow to justify it. And it causes such disruption. And it's a weekday. What is today? I don't even know what today is. But it's a weekday. So they won't keep it closed for long. So the reason I put the heater back on is it just helps dry things out a bit. And also I was getting a bit chilly. I can feel the heat from that thing immediately. It's incredible. Yeah, so I've really thought about it. 2 poles. That's the way to fix this. 2 of these poles. So I'm going to ask Hilleberg to send me 2 new poles to make up for this. And then I think that'll be perfect. Just the weight. It just couldn't handle it. There's such thin poles, you know. and it's such an expensive vestibule. I want this thing to work, and I want to know that I can go out and somewhere like Mars on the top, and it can take the storm. But right now, the way it is, it can't take the storm. No way. All right, last coffee, and then we'll do pack down. Ah, beautiful. Right, it's that time. Time I dread every single time, and that is pack up time. So I've just turned the heating off, and it was 15 degrees Celsius up here, and it's like 2 degrees down here. Big difference. Right, as usual, I will fast forward pack up, starting from now. Okay, all done, except for the tent, the big piece. Look at this. Wow. It's so spooky with the mist. That's the freezing air coming down. It's getting colder. So, two things I've got to do. I've got to pack the tent away, and I've got to clear the truck so I can see where I'm going. It's all empty in here. So what I've got to do is go around and just kick the snow away a bit, all around the edges like that, just to make it easy to get to everything. Believe me, it'll make it a lot easier. And then you see here where it's built up. Okay. Almost there. Quite a big bit here. I'm getting wet in here, showered with condensation. Right, and then there's nothing else to do in here really. It's all clear, there's no pockets or anything. I'll undo this vent just so the air can come out through here easily. Actually, you know what? I can't do that because it's raining. It's snowing. It's doing something. Right, take the bag out. We've got to pull all the pegs out. And then take all the poles off. Oh, we used a lot of pegs. All right, that's all the pegs. So now I've got to undo it all in the same order. So backwards. So vestibule pole first. So I'm going to do this without breaking it further. Okay, so this is the vestibule pole bag. Okay. I'm not going to detach the vestibule from the tent. I'm going to keep it all together. Because I think it will all wrap up together anyway, quite easily. Wow, the bend in this pole, look at that. It's pretty extreme. Oh my, oh, and the end has fallen off the other end now. What? Oh, because the elastic's all gone. Wow, it's just completely collapsed because all the elastic is now shredded. Oh man, what a mess. Look at that. That's all the elastic and the pole. Yeah. Oh well. 2 poles next time. Petra, if you're listening to this, the vestibule needs 2 poles, not 1. Just saying, 4 inches of snow isn't a lot. All right, now the rest of the poles. So, oh, actually, we've got to take the roof vent off first. Oh, my fingers are going to get very cold. I know someone's going to say wear gloves, but I just lose all mobility if I wear gloves. So the roof vent, this thing, the leaking last night is because where the pole goes through the sleeve, look, no seam sealant. It's not seam sealed. So that just leaked completely. The only thing I could do, because I can't really seam it on the inside, I'm going to have to put some sealant on the outside of it, which is never really what you want to do, because it won't last very long that way, but I don't have any other choice really. Right, poles. Lots and lots of unclipping to do now. So we started, the last one we did was the blue pole. Right, now getting this out of this pole, this sleeve is going to be tricky because it's right on the top. You don't really want to have to pull it out. Woo! 1 down, 1 million to go. Okay, so the red ones were next. Whoop. These poles are insanely long. Oh, is it? Oh. Let's see if I can feed it through. There we go. Okay. That wasn't so bad. Actually, for a pack down, the worst bit was just emptying everything out of the tent. The actual tent itself, that's not so bad. Can you imagine how long this is going to take me to dry this tent out? I mean, the lockup that I rent is big, but I can't fit this. What a pole. Look at that. Holy poly. So, cold hands. All done. Ah. What a great tent, what a great pack. This thing's a beast. Great success. Now we're going to clear the truck. Oh yeah! All looking good. All secure. Fridge is secure. Locked. Alright, I need to clear the windscreen. I think first of all we're going to start her up. I need a broom. Right, that'll do. Let's get out of here. We're off. Right, I have to excuse the fan noise. Well, I see people around. They're probably wondering how come I'm here. They've walked here from the hotel. No one has driven in at all. Not even the ranger. I'm the only one who is allowed to drive. in-road snow. Look at that. Awesome. And there's the hotel. I don't know if you can make it out on the right-hand side, the Hermitage Hotel. That's where everybody is. That's where they've had to walk from because they're not allowed in. What a beautiful day. What a great camp. Now I'm assuming the gate's going to be closed at the end of this road. On the right hand side, the Hermitage Hotel at Mount Cook. Excellent. Yep, gates are closed. Alright, so I've got to pop out, open the gates, and then we can go. Oh, and then I've got to close them again. I hope they're not locked. Let's double check. They shouldn't be locked. There's a queue of people looking at me on the right hand side, wondering if they can go in. Look, I'll show you all. Look at all these people. They all want to come in, but it's closed. Sorry everyone. You won't make it. No. Too much snow up there. There's avalanche warning. Well, you heard all that. That guy sounded Korean, I think. Anyway, he wanted to get up to where I slept the night, and he also wanted to go to Solitude steps, which is 1,000 steps, and it goes up to the tops. Unfortunately, there's no way up there with that snow. You can't make it. Too difficult, too dangerous, and without snowshoes, definitely can't make it. Right, we're on our way out of here. I'll bring you back when we get to the lake to say our goodbyes. Oh, it's chilly. Cool. All right, everybody, here we are at the end of the lake. What a view. Unfortunately, you can't see Mount Cook at all. It's clagged in. It was starting to snow again back up there. But what a beautiful area, and look, you can see all this weather's about to come in as well. That's going to be snow and rain, complete mixture. Well, thanks for coming on this camp, everyone. I hope you've had a good time. I have. Thanks again to all our followers. Thanks to all our subscribers. Please go and subscribe. Really helps the channel. And thanks to all of our YouTube members. Buy me a coffee, participants, everyone who's bought merch, all our Patreon members, and all the super thanks. And all the comments, thumbs ups as well. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've just realized I can't put Bernie and Bolly on the end of this one because there's going to be another video after this. I'm going now to another remote location for another snow camp. So no chance. I've still got snow backed up on the top. Look, I've got a wing of snow here. It's like an aerodynamic wing. Still snow everywhere. And I've been driving for 45 minutes. Caked. Absolutely caked. Gosh, can't believe how much snow I've still got on here. But that'll all be gone soon. I've got a 5-hour drive now. I'm staying the night at a little place called Hanmer Springs. And then driving off to a high altitude alpine lake. Where we're going to do a wild camp. Not really a wild camp, it's a car camp. But I don't know if I'm going to be using the big tent or a small tent this time. We'll see. But I'll bring you back for the next one. Thanks again, everyone. Please go to the Facebook page, sign up, go to the Instagram as well, and X. But also mainly go to the website, abcampingandoutdoors.com, and sign up to the mailing list so you know when videos come out. Go back and look at videos, go and look at subscriptions, because YouTube has a propensity to hide videos. All right, everyone, thanks so much for coming on this one. I hope you had a good time, and catch you again soon with Tony and maybe Bernie from AB Camping. Thanks, everyone. Bye.